So you got an offer on your house. In this video, I'm gonna go over what to look for in an offer because the purchase price is only a small part of that offer, and there's so many terms that you need to understand so that you know if that offer is stronger or weaker than another offer. You could have an offer with a higher purchase price that undoubtedly would be a weaker offer than a different offer that might have a lower purchase price. And it's actually, in some cases, a lot more valuable to you to take that lower offer because of all the terms and all the risks associated and what that ends up being amounting to for the dollars in your pocket when you walk away. Because you want to take an offer that's going to be the highest chance of you walking away with the most money in your pocket, right? So that's what I'm going to go through in this video. If you are a for sale by owner, taking in offers, this video is going to be beneficial for you. And if you are using a realtor or an attorney, they should be explaining these things to you, but that's a whole different story. If they're not, watch this video and you're going to understand how to interpret an offer and how to know if it's how to determine which offer you should choose, which offer wins. Okay, so first of all, obviously the purchase price. Okay, let's just say you get an offer for $100,000, and the next thing to look for is your earnest money amount. So that's the earnest money amount is something that those buyers are going to get back at closing if they go through with the purchase. That is in a dollar amount that's going to say, how serious are these buyers? And, if there's some other things in the offer that make that offer more of a risk, well, then you'd probably want to see more earnest money up front, because if it's a risk, that means it could fall apart and there could be no deal. So you want that buyer to have something to lose if they're going to back out of the deal. I don't even like to use the word back out. Sometimes it's truly backing out. Sometimes they break contract, and that's a dangerous legal scenario. So purchase price, earnest money, and contingencies. So you can have the biggest one to talk about is inspection contingencies. Those are super common, and you're going to have very common. You're going to have a home inspection contingency. You're going to have a well and septic contingency. If that applies, you're going to have a termite contingency, and you're going to have a radon contingency. I'll do other videos in later weeks. I'm going to try to do like a video per week that will go over like super details of all those different inspection contingencies and what they mean. But for now, we'll just go over them. So obviously, if you have any inspection contingencies, that means that is a weaker offer, because there's a risk that they're going to find something that scares them on a home inspection, or they're going to find if there's high radon. Now we could be talking about maybe the seller having to pay for a radon mitigation system. If there's termite damage, the seller is probably going to have to pay for a Terminex, or didn't mean to use a name brand there. We just use them a lot. They're going to have to pay for a termite plan, which can cost $1,200 or, something like that. So that can cost the seller money. Well and septic inspections, if there's something found there, then that's going to cost the seller more money. I'm a huge advocate. If I have a buyer, I am 100% of the time going to tell that buyer, advise them to get every inspection under the sun that they can get. I don't care that it makes their offer weaker. If I'm the buyer's agent, I want the buyer to do the inspections. If they don't want to, that's on them, but it's going to be clear. I'm even going to make them sign something for me that says, you are waiving your inspections. Let's be clear about this, because I think you should get inspections. It's cheap insurance. But it is true that as a seller, if you get an offer that has no inspection contingencies, well, in that case, that's better for the seller. So I'm going to advise my seller, if I have the seller, that, that's a $100,000 offer. I don't know, maybe you're talking about that's probably worth $3,000, or, fill in the blanks. How much do you think that's worth for more guarantee that it's going to close, they're not going to back out? But also during all those inspections, the buyer can come back and say, okay, I'll still buy the house, but I want you to do this and this repair, or I want you to give me some money back. So inspection contingencies, you're talking about a good chance that you're not getting that $100,000. You're going to get a little bit less at the end of the day in your pocket. The other contingencies would be is their offer is contingent on selling their current home. Very common. Once again, a much weaker offer. If I'm a seller, I do not want to take an offer that is contingent on someone selling their house if I have an offer that doesn't have that contingency. Now, if that's the only offer I get, and if it's a good offer, that's fine. Just make sure your realtor investigates that seller's home, that person or that buyer that's trying to buy your house, their home, and know how much they're going to ask for it, and make sure that it's a reasonable price and that your realtor thinks that house is going to sell quickly. So there's some investigative work, and if it's all good, then yeah, go ahead, take a contingent on selling their house offer. But just know that your house, if you accept that offer, your deal pauses and you're waiting on them to sell their house before you start anything on yours. And we've had it happen plenty where the seller's never able to sell their house, the buyer that's selling their house is never able to sell their house. And so then after so many days, then your deal falls apart because they never were able to sell their house. Now you're back on the market. But meanwhile, you wasted 30 plus days of your house sort of being off the market. Nobody really wants to tour it if it's contingent. So there's that. Understand that. I would say, man, if it was my house and I had two offers, one was contingent on selling a house, and one was just straight up no contingencies on selling a house. Boy, that offer, I mean, is that worth $5,000 to just know? It just depends. If you're in a hurry, if you need it to go through, if it's okay, if it falls apart and you have to relist it, is that going to kill you? So it's very specific to the seller and what needs they have, but just understanding that is crucial. What else do we have? So of course there's a closing date. Make sure you understand the closing date, and are they talking 30 days? Are they talking 2 months? I mean, make sure you at least understand that. Normal is 30 to 45 days. And then I guess probably one of the most important things I'll save for last is the financing type, the loan type. So I have another video. If you look, one of the first videos on my YouTube channel is what about loan types? So I'm not going to go into the details, but you have a conventional loan, you have an RD, a rural development loan, USDA loan, you have a VA loan, and you have FHA loan. So all these other loans, you have a conventional, and then you have all these other loans I named off, which all have their government-backed loans. They have red tape, increased appraisal, inspection requirements. The bank can force buyer and seller to have to make certain repairs. Sometimes the appraisal is sketchy and we don't agree with it, versus a conventional loan. It's kind of, the bank will pretty much loan you the money as long as the house appraises at value. Not much red tape, easy. As a seller, I am going to take a conventional loan offer over any of the other offers. Even if the conventional loan offers a little bit less, I'm still taking that conventional loan because it's more guaranteed that I'm going to get that money in my pocket, versus those other loan types are less guaranteed. And it depends on the house and the situation. So that's a situational decision. I can look at a house and tell you, you might have issues with an FHA loan on this house because of A, B, and C. And so that's important for you to understand as a seller, if that loan type on this buyer's offer is something that is a high chance of working for your house. what else is there to talk about? I think we covered everything. Just understand whether you're for sale by owner, whether you have a realtor listing your house, make sure that you have an attorney or a realtor walk you through each offer and all the terms, because as you can see from this video, there's way more to it than just the purchase price, and you really need to understand what you're getting into. If you guys have any questions about any offers that you're getting on your house, I don't care if you're for sale by owner, call me and let's talk. I don't mind coaching you through this stuff. Of course, if you guys have a house to sell, I'd be more than happy to assist you with that. And you can, just use my expertise to your advantage. I think a lot of realtors out there don't do a good job of letting sellers know their value. What are you getting for, the commission? And so there's so much value that I'm biased, obviously, but there's so much value a realtor can provide to you. And I 100% believe that if you list your house with me, you are going to get more money in your pocket after commission at the end of the day than you would get versus selling it on your own. I think you can sell your house on your own. I just think you're going to get more money if you use a realtor. So, like I said, hit me up with any questions. If you guys are curious what your house is worth, hit me up, let me know. So I appreciate you watching. We're going to get off here. We'll see you next week.